Good morning, good evening, everyone. Welcome to episode 23 of 3 Men on the Record. We've had a little break because our leader was on some vacation. Look at the tan. And we have a special guest today from Eric from EC Vinyl. You guys know him. He's another one of those people that sell that Japanese records. And we're glad to have him on the show with us tonight. And Thomas, we were maybe 10 seconds late. It's okay. So, Eric, introduce yourself to our group here. And
thanks for having me on. So, yeah, my name's Eric Christensen. I am from Omaha, Nebraska. I have been a lifelong music fanatic. My parents tell me when I was still in diapers, I was putting the needle on Beatles records. So it's no wonder that I, live in a collection of over 20,000 vinyls and 5,000 CDs and 8 tracks and reel-to-reels and, man, you name it. The only medium I never got into was the DAT tape and the mini disc. But other than that, I pretty much own it all. But yeah, no, I started selling Japanese vinyl last quarter. The whole whatnot thing kind of started as I need to get rid of my duplicates. And that just created more reason to buy more vinyl. And so, yeah, it's just kind of snowballed. But I absolutely love it. And I'm glad that's my hobby because there could be a lot worse.
Wow, that's a lot of media. No, I did do mini disc for a while. Cool little format. Not really audiophile, but cool format.
Yeah. And I grew up Beatles, but it was 8-track, so I just pushed the button with the magic on how it went to somewhere else and couldn't figure out why. So yeah, raised on Beatles. So as we usually do, guys, I usually ask a couple of hard-hitting questions to the guests.
Wait, Sean, there's like a huge elephant in the room.
Oh, yeah. Jake is, well, he's not really missing. He had to last minute show. He had to basically drive home. This is a drive back to work to show a house. And hopefully he can get back soon. So he'll probably be joining us later, but he's showing a house right now, and that's good. He needs to sell. So
yeah, I know he'll do his best to try to get back. He has his 3 albums and he's ready to go. So hopefully at some point he'll drop in with us here.
Yeah, I almost forgot he wasn't here, but it was quiet. So we asked some hard-hitting questions. One is, are you a person that keeps it in the shrink, or do you remove it from the shrink?
100% the shrink. And I always look for albums that are in the shrink, because if you take the time to slit the album open, I know you're probably taking care of your vinyl.
That's a good point.
And I don't know if Stacy does this thing where she rubs the edge and it opens up easy. I don't know if anyone's tried that.
I was at a show and I met Ringo Death Star, and I wanted him to sign the album, and he did that. And I'm like, I've never seen anybody do that before. It works in a jam, but I kind of like the razor blade better.
Well, I use a shark's tooth, but
of course you do.
So that's answered that question. My next question is, if you could see someone that you've never seen before, that's living, who would you want to see? And also the same question, someone that's no longer with us.
So I have seen thousands and thousands of concerts. There are times that I will see 3 to 5 shows a week. So there are a few out there that I haven't seen. The one that comes to mind, I have never seen the Scorpions, and that really bothers me. So they're the ones that are living. And surprisingly, our good friend Adam will roll over and fall out of his chair. But Jerry Garcia and the Grateful Dead, I never saw Jerry at all. And the story around that is, I was a poor college student, or poor just out of college student in 95. And I had the chance to buy tickets to go. I had tickets for the Dead at Soldier Field in 95, and I had tickets for 9 Inch Nails. I decided to go see 9 Inch Nails instead of Jerry Garcia and the Dead at Soldier Field. That's my big oops.
Well, you probably just lost a mod. Adam probably unfollowed you. You never see him again.
Nope. I know.
Well, Adam started late too. He started late too. He's I I can't remember the phrase he used, but a head dead, something like that. He would later starter with the
Deadhead.
with them. Yeah, yeah. So those are good answers. What else? I think that was all the hard hitting questions. I just got a message from Jake. I don't know if he's going to make it because he's still touring and it's an hour drive from there. So we'll see. But we have his picks, and we won't hear anyone talking about Pink Floyd for 25 minutes. So that's pretty safe bet.
No Jake segue tonight.
All right. So I have another question is, Scott, how was your vacation?
Our vacation was great. Got a couple of days down in Florida, and then ended it up in Savannah for a couple of days, and then came back home. It was good to get away.
And you were talking about your shrimp and grits. I know you were talking about.
Man, Savannah and Charleston, two very good food towns. I didn't hit Charleston this time, but Savannah, that shrimp and grits was to die for.
All right. So guys,
yep, and Adam is already commenting. What?
Yeah, and we'll show it right there. All right. So new arrivals. Let's talk about anything you guys have gotten that's new. Any new arrivals that you've and we'll start with Scott, giving you a chance to grab some new arrivals that you've gotten. And we'll start there. And you guys in the chat, what have you gotten recently? And
well, I'll just show one because I don't want to show all of them because they're kind of in another segment. But I picked this up at a record store while in Florida while on vacation. Pretty in Pink soundtrack.
Nice.
There you go.
All right. And Scott's always talking about this record. So I decided that I was going to get one. And I found one in the shrink in really nice shape. So I got that.
The best cheap record you could ever buy. That is a good pop rock record.
There you go. And then I had this, but I never listened to this. If you guys own this, give it a listen. You'll be surprised. It's not just country. It's a little bit different. I've been on a Springsteen kick lately. I've gotten the box sets, and I just got this. Needs to be clean because it actually skipped and a little bit of noise, but we'll see if it cleans up. And I also changed needles, so the weight might be off. I picked up this, so now I don't need Volume 1 and Volume 2 because this reissue has both Volume 1 and Volume 2. And then I got the 80s Greatest Hits too if I have the complete Greatest Hits collection. Someday I'll collect how many of the records they have? 21, 20, 30? I can't keep track. The rest of them I'm going to save for later because it's, again, for a segment later on. And what did Eric get this week? Anything exciting?
Well, I got a couple of 100 Japanese albums this week, but those were in the show. But hey, I'll follow suit with Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah, Nebraska.
I got the CD set, but the vinyl set really went on discount, so I had to pick this up.
Yeah. So when you open that, get like a cloth band because the cover has a tendency to start. So opening. You might or put it in somewhere because that's what I had one of them, and luckily the record wasn't in the cover because it would have started to warp the record. But it has a tendency to warp.
The electric version of Nebraska on there is phenomenal, and there is a track that he does a different version of Born in the USA, which is way better than the release version.
Oh, come on!
Anyhow.
I can't go for that. But back in the day, it's interesting that finally showed up because they had released that in some way to radio at some point because that was played on the radio sometimes. That acoustic version of Born in the USA.
Yeah, I had never heard it before, but it's phenomenal. Let's see, what else did I get? Well, I got Thank You, Duran Duran's Thank You. The Wedding album is still on the way. Rob Zombie. Have you seen the vinyl on this one? Well, it's in the shrink. Super cool. Oh, Kim Gordon, Play Me. Her albums from Sonic Youth. So her albums have been really adventuresome. A little bit more electronic synthy. But I haven't played this one yet, but I really liked her last one. I really like shoegaze. So this is a band called Nothing. think this is their 4th or 5th album now. I saw them in concert a couple of years ago, and so Nothing is a great shoegaze band I picked up. A little more eclectic. KMFDM, Enemy, been around forever. So much fun to see in concert if you're into the industrial electric stuff. Took my 20-year-old daughter. She loves them too. And then Pat Metheny. The new Pat Metheny album, and inside it's got a signed signature. And then the last one, not generally in my repertoire, but pretty cool. This Johnny Blue Skies, which is Sturgill Simpson's album. What did I get mine on? Clear vinyl? Yep, clear vinyl. Pretty interesting album. So that's just what's sitting behind me.
Yeah, I saw that Sturgill Simpson the other day. I can't remember. Oh, it was in Nevessa. They had it.
You know, the cool thing about it is it's the only way he released it. And so I guess it's like one of the best sellers, physical sellers in years, because people ventured out to actually buy an album instead of just wake up Friday morning and be able to stream it, which I hope more artists end up doing. That'll help the music industry a lot.
Yeah, because you can hear it weeks before now and not after.
Ooh, I got one more plug. So I found this band called Traders. It's TRATRS, Traders. They've got 4 or 5 albums out. They're an indie band, but if you like The Cure, wow. The Cure is a huge influence on this band called The Traders, and I can't stop playing them. Unfortunately, the album that I first heard, the only way you can find it is on Discogs, and it starts about $100. So I ordered the CD.
Well, that was a good example, Eric's run through of his new arrivals, of exactly after watching in his shows many times. I was like, this guy has a huge musical palette. So I thought, yeah, got to get him on the pod. So another reason we're glad to have you. You're going to expand. You named 2 bands, and I've been listening to music for 50 years pretty religiously. You just named 2 bands I've never heard a song by. So
we'll have to share it on our We'll have to share it on our Discord so people can check it out. Maybe find a video or something and link it to them.
They're so good.
All right. Do you want to talk about RSD or anything? Or are we gonna?
I don't really want to talk about RSD because I don't want people to run out and get the records that I want.
I know what he wants, guys. Just message me.
And I've been seeing it show up on too many people's list. I'm like, this was supposed to be under that. No, I'll say my number one is the Mark Knopfler, Emmylou Harris, all this road running. That is such a good record. And
yeah, I had a chance to walk my local store, and they have it all set up on their walls today, so I know the counts. And there was only 2 Knopflers. Maybe, well, there was the Fall Out Boy was in a couple different sections, so they might have a lot of those. The Billy Squier was 1. I know Plaid Room, there was only 6 Squires at the Plaid Room, so I know that one's going to be hard. And there was a couple others, but I walked around and it's kind of cool to see them all out there now because it's easier to look at them than on that list. Although I didn't see the Weezer, but
Seasick Records, I think they're in Alabama. Yeah, Seasick, Alabama. I'll buy a lot of stuff from them. And they have a list out and it's got all the covers and it's got all the information about the album that they have in stock already. And it's got the prices. So a lot of times I'll buy stuff online if I'm standing in line. And so it's kind of nice to see those prices. But in Jake's absence, I will say that the number 1 is probably the Pink Floyd box set, even though I have about 6 different bootlegs of that same show. But still, to have it on that officially pressed box set is probably the one that I'll have to go grab.
And hopefully,
along with the Grateful Dead box set.
Yeah, of course. Hopefully, they clean that up and remastered it to sound much better. Same thing with the Jeff Buckley. I've listened to CD versions of that Live at Olympia, and it's noisy. So I'm hoping that it's cleaned up. But we will keep you updated. Of course, maybe next week, guys, we'll show you what our pickups were from RSD.
Yeah, well, just come back home and log on to Whatnot, and you'll see all the RSD titles all over the place. People talking about them.
Yeah, and don't overpay. Don't go crazy, guys. They usually show up somewhere eventually.
Yeah, and I think that's a really good point. I used to be the guy that stood in line at 4:00 in the morning to make sure I got everything I wanted, and then I would buy, whatever that I couldn't find. But what I found was that 2 months later, you can buy the same titles for half the price.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, don't get overly anxious about a certain title. You'll be able to find it for a decent price. And even if you can't on that one, the savings you have on the others that you didn't go crazy for, you got the money to go buy that one title that you got to spend $100 or $150 for.
Yeah, like right now, go on eBay and look at the price of the Taylor Swift record. It's going to be mass produced, just like the last one. And there was stores, I think Molly, who was on Full Wind Record, their store still has that 7-inch from a year ago. And there's people right now probably buying it for $100, $200. Don't do it. Just don't.
No.
Because I usually find them opened, but like 6 months later in my other store, it's a non-RSD for half the price almost every single time. There might be a few titles that aren't, but most of them you'll be able to find. And RSD has a great marketplace, and they can't overcharge. So that Sunday, go looking there. You might find everything you're looking for. So don't go crazy, because there's going to be people even on Whatnot scalping them the day of, and it's crazy. And then a lot of people they're realizing they're getting stuck because they're expecting to make big money off them, and they're getting stuck with these records.
And that's why they go down. That's exactly right. The only problem with the RSD market is I have bought a lot from there, but I've probably only gotten 25% of what I ordered, because they end up selling them in the store. And then they don't have them for you.
Yeah.
So that's the bad thing about the RSD marketplace. But anyway.
But guys, just be patient. And they on Sunday morning, there's stores, if they still have them, can sell them online. They're not allowed to auction, but online, like Plaid Room and other places.
Plaid Room, Seasick, Lunchbox. Yeah, there's a lot of them.
So be patient. All right, so let's go to our next segment where we show our top 3 essential records of, this one here, guys, right? And we have Eric go first because he is the guest. So his first essential.
All right. So I had to spend hours and hours and hours trying to narrow this down to 3 records. But and some of them were easy because they were already on the list. I was absolutely shocked that this album was not on the list. Santana's Abraxas.
Yep, great record.
I mean, what a classic. Now, this record means a lot to me because my dad used to have this on 8-track. And I remember the brown tape wrapped around the 8-track because it had broke at one time, and he broke it when he was trying to open it. But I used to play this album a lot. And I've got so many different versions of this. But this album I can listen to backwards and forwards. I just don't know how many times. And it's, with Greg Raleigh being on vocals, he co-founded Santana, he co-founded Journey, he's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame twice. I got to see Greg Raleigh with Ringo Starr on his All-Star tour or whatever. And him and Colin Hay were the highlights of that show. Got to take my dad to see Santana 4 or 5 years ago. I saw Santana at Red Rocks. Still sounds just as amazing as he did on this album. But one of the biggest things about music for me is it, and I think part of this addiction going on is it's kind of like a drug. When you put that album on and it gives you goosebumps and you're just blown away by it. I've always been looking for those albums. What's that next Rush? What's the next Prince Purple Rain? What's the next Cure Disintegration? Santana will always be on that list. I just listened to it the other day, and I decided to listen to the quadraphonic version. The quadraphonic version, much different than the original version, because um, on the first song, which is Singing Winds, there's actually, you can hear the percussion player hooting and hollering. And you cannot hear that on the 2-track. The first time I heard it, I've got the DTS 5.1, and I heard it on there, and I was like, wow, that's really cool. And it swirls during Black Magic Woman. You can hear it swirling, and you can hear that same definition on a quadraphonic. And I'm just running it using DTS surround sound or whatever. Sounds great. So that is my first pick. Santana, Abraxas, classic.
Let me. You said I didn't know if you finished your ABN, but I just got about a month ago. I got the MoFi of that, and I have the not first press, but I have a old press US, and I have a Japanese press, and I was just wondering, do you have an opinion about which one you like the sound best on?
I'm not very good with A-Being.
Neither am I.
I know when it, I know when it sounds bad, like, oh, I got to find another copy. But I like having the different versions because they're different experiences. Some like the 8-track, for example.
Yeah.
It's just a darker, muddier sound, right? But it's very nostalgic and very cool. A lot of time I have that MoFi version when they first came out with it, and I thought it sounded phenomenal.
Yeah.
But it's been years and years since I've listened to it.
Well, I don't know yet myself because it's still sealed. I have not opened it, but I'm looking forward to it. Well, I'm bad at ABN too. I admitted that like 2 weeks ago or last week. Whenever Adam was on, I was like, I don't really even know whether it sounds good or it sounds average or it sounds bad. That's all I know.
Right.
And they can sound good in different ways. They can sound different, but I can think 2 different copies both sound good. So we're going to put this on Adam. Adam, we need you to buy all the Santana Abraxas in press. AB them, give us a report back, all right? And then with the ones you don't want to keep, you can sell in your whatnot show.
There you go.
There you go. And they probably have some of those for you to purchase from them.
That's right.
So that kind of works right there.
You want the Japanese press? Look me and Eric up. We'll hook you up.
Yeah, that I am out of it. That's my personal copy. Oh. And I sold my Japanese quadraphonic, and now I got to go find another one.
So you guys heard it. Eric's out of everything. Just come to Echo Waves.
There you go.
He's got it all.
Adam has accepted the challenge.
He's on it. All right.
There you go. All right. So, Scott, what's your first one for tonight?
My first one for tonight. I'm going to go this one. Okay. So, first of all, I'm going to say this is not a record I sit around and listen to on a regular basis. It's a record that I would more say that I like it and I respect it. And it needs to be on the 500. So it's Fionna Apple Tidal. And most folks know Criminal, right? That's the song that broke her. She won New Artist of the Year or the MTV, and then turned around and created a controversy during that. But this is really remarkable because of a couple reasons. One is she was only 18 years old, and she wrote these songs, at least co-wrote all of them, but wrote most of them. She's a piano first person, so she writes on piano and she writes the music first. The lyrics come later. And what really took me about this album, especially this listen, because I'm doing it more critically because I know it's an album I'm presenting. So I listened to it 5 times. Let's do it on vacation a couple of times and then like 3 additional times. Is the maturity of her voice and her sound is not like, it doesn't sound like an 18-year-old produced this. It sounds, it's got a little bit of, I would say, Billie Holiday, Ella Fitzgerald. You could probably even go. Sometimes I hear a little bit of Lana Del Rey in some of the lyrical content. And I think a lot of that is she struggles with mental health. She has for a long time. She was sexually assaulted when she was 12 years old, and so she's, even though she had a comfortable life, her parents divorced when she was 4. I think a lot led up to her becoming this artist that she is. And so at 18 years old, she had something to say. And I think if you're into that jazzy sound, the first single I believe off this record was Shadow Boxer. And it's just got a cool sound. So if you like, I'll say if you're a fan of Sade, you're probably going to like Shadow Boxer. That's a great, piano jazz type song. The difference is, and why they slide her into alternative, because what I hear is mostly jazz, but she was a big fan of hip hop too. So she listened to old vocal jazz, and hip hop was the two things. And you can hear where she's incorporated some of those elements. There's no hip hop on the record, but you hear the hip hop influence on some of the songs. So the funny thing is the big single was the third release. So Shadow Boxer was the first, and I forget which one was the second. Maybe Sleep the Dream. But Criminal was the third one, and that's when the record took off. And the record did do phenomenal. It 3 million sales in the U.S., 4 million worldwide. She's one of those artists. I think she stays outside the fray too. She doesn't really fall in with current trends. She does her own thing. She experiments a little bit. But like Sade, she just exists. Like a Fionna record, Apple record comes out, and people are like, "Oh, she's got a new record." So kudos. Like I said, this is not something I play all the time, but it is no doubt. If I was saying, "Here's 500 records that you should go try out," this one has to be on the list, and glad to do it. So Fionna Apple, Tidal,
100%.
1996, by the way.
All right. The first one I'm going to do came out about the same time. And you guys, I like the backstory on some of this stuff. So if you were in the San Diego, California area, and you were going to coffee shops, you might have run into this person. My pick is Jewel. This one took a little time to take off. So it was released and really didn't. Well, first of all, there was a bootleg of her at a coffee house. And the local record station started playing her record. And that got her into a record contract, and the record came out. And nothing really happened until another famous singer-songwriter had her open up for him. And that person was Bob Dylan. And when she toured with Bob Dylan, they re-released the record, heavy airplay. I mean, you had You Were Meant for Me, Who Will Save Your Soul. Her voice, that singer-songwriter folky sound was amazing. And again, I think there's even a story of her living in her car before all this too at some point. Mm-hmm. But amazing artist. It sold 50 to 20 million globally. But again, this is a record that we may never have even heard, because again, it didn't do anything for 2 years, and then it got re-released. And thank you, Bob Dylan.
Well, how do you call yourself a competent label A&R team? A promotion team. You can't go out and get Who Will Save Your Soul on the radio. I mean, come on. That's like as soon as you hear that song, it's a terrific song.
Yeah,
her vocal one, it's amazing.
Yeah, and it's crazy. Because I think
that's not the strongest song on that album either.
Yeah. So I don't have a vinyl version of that, and I do plan on getting it. I think there's a craft pressing not too long ago, but I will be looking to add that to my collection. I have it on CD. I know I do. But so that's my first one. All right. So Eric, we'll go back to you.
All right. So part of my eclectic musical taste, jazz is a big part of it as well. And I noticed there weren't a lot of jazz albums on there. And you start going down the rabbit hole of, well, what are the greatest jazz albums ever? And then you get into, well, what period of jazz? And I've gotten a lot of my buyers into jazz with Wynton Kelly, Art Blakey, pretty safe. So I figured I would go with something that is a little bit safe, but so classic that it needs to be on the top 500. From recorded in 1958, Cannonball Adderley's Something Else. This is actually a Japanese version, but I don't have the Obi because I sold it. Anyhow, Miles Davis on trumpet with Cannonball Adderley on sax. Miles plays this album very reserved. It is a classic album. Autumn Leaves is one of the best songs ever. It's just a very, very smooth. If you think of jazz, this is one of the first albums that just pops out. This is your coffee drinking in the morning album. I just want to sit back and relax and chill. If you're new to jazz, this is a great place to start, and it creates rabbit holes. So, I want to learn more about Miles Davis. Oh, I want to learn more about Art Blakey. Oh, I want to hear more about Sam Jones or Hank Jones. That's how that's why I think jazz is so interesting. Is there's so many collaborations, and where I was going earlier on Santana, the biggest thing that I like about music is, like, I don't have Sirius XM. I only listen to albums start to finish because that's the way they were made and that's the way they were intended. And I like albums that take you on a journey. Santana Abraxas starts soft and takes you on a journey. Same thing here. Cannonball Adderley and Miles Davis, they take you on a journey. And so this has to be on the top 500 for sure. And little safe, but a must have.
Yeah, I completely agree. I actually have that. I have 2 Cannonball Adderley records. That is one of them. And I think that record is so accessible. So if you don't know anything about jazz, there's probably 10 records that I don't know how you couldn't like them if you like music. I mean, they're just really good. They're, it's not, way out there in left field. They're very musical. I had a question. I don't know if you've ever heard this. Did you hear that some people say that's actually a Miles Davis record?
It wouldn't surprise me because Miles is very front and center throughout the whole thing.
Yeah, because something about his contract, he wasn't out of his contract, and so they put Cannonball. That's what they say. I was like, well, it didn't really matter. It's a great record. And then Cannonball came back with another great record. So I just heard that and I thought, well, I guess it could be. He's on it prominently. So
very prominently. If you didn't see the cover and know it was a Cannonball Adderley album, you would think it was a Miles Davis album. But that's kind of the way that jazz is.
Yeah. Here's the other one.
There's the other one.
This probably should make it sometime too. It's great.
Oh, we could have
we could have 500 jazz records.
Exactly. We could have 500 jazz records, and Miles Davis would have, 20 of them.
Yeah. So, Eric, since you're new to the podcast, I will tell you, Floyd, avid watcher of the Three Men podcast, he does not like jazz. So that's why he made that comment.
Yeah, Floyd and every time I'll put something up that's jazz, he'll all of a sudden show up in the room.
Serious.
And he shows up in the room. So yeah, and I think last time he got something. He had a bad time after he bought a jazz record, so he thinks he's cursed.
Hey, right, Thomas, that's only one jazz record. I think that's the only jazz record we have tonight. We got to get some jazz. We can't look ourselves in the face if we don't end up with at least 25 jazz records on there. I don't know where we're standing. I think we're probably at 7 or 8 jazz records that are on there. So we got a few more coming probably.
Yeah, we've done the simple, the starter jazz. We haven't gotten.
I listened to this today. Dave Brubeck, very, very classic. I mean, God, I could just keep pulling jazz records.
Yeah, I think isn't Time Out's on the 500, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm
pretty sure. Yeah.
All right. Is it me?
Yes, it is.
All right. So I had a hard time picking this next one. I know this is a group we didn't have in, and I'm pretty adamant that I want to get them in. But I didn't have as much stress as Eric was having in his text thread to me about trying to pick records. He was definitely trying to whittle it down. But I kept going between 3 records. And the group is Collective Soul. And a lot of people would probably go their second album, which is self-titled. And but I think there's probably 2 records by Collective Soul that's better than that. Maybe not more popular. I'll give you that's the most popular. So I'm going Dosage. And
That is a great record.
The reason Dosage is because it has 2 things I really like. This is probably Crowded House at their hardest rock, Heavy and Tremble for My Beloved. Those are killer rock songs. And but this also it slips into some mid-tempo and slow songs like Needs and Compliment. It's got everything, and it's well-rounded. Almost every song is great on this record. Run is on here, Slow, so many, and it really excels. I would say this: if you're a Peter Gabriel fan, there's like 3 or 4 Peter Gabriel-ish soul songs on this Collective Soul record, Dosage. Mm-hmm. So while everybody knows December and Gel and World Where I Live, and that was their big breakout, I'm a bigger fan of this record because it's a little more rock and it's a little more accessible, more straightforward. It has sold a couple million copies, so it's not. I don't know if you can pick it up. Collective Soul was releasing the records during Record Store Day, mostly. I picked that up from Record Store Day several years ago. So it's just a band. I'm a big fan. Eric probably doesn't know this, but despite my age of being 60, my favorite period of music is post-grunge alternative rock. That's the 90s. I love the 90s rock. And the Collective Soul is definitely one of those favorites, and I can say for a fact last Friday night I just saw them for the 4th time and they were great again. They still sound amazing. Fun concert. All right, so Collective Soul, Dosage in the 500.
All right.
Good pick.
Let's see. What am I going to do next? I'm going to do this one. This is James Brown live at the Apollo. Recorded in October of 1962 on King Records. The president of King Records said, we don't want to do it. So he had to put up the money. This was a time where James Brown was still, he wasn't, I would say, mainstream. He was big, but he was touring over 300 nights a year. That's why they called him the busiest man in show business. So he was working hard to get his name out there. And this is the record that broke him out. It is also what inspired MC5 to record their first album. That intro that they did was kind of a homage to this record here. I wouldn't say that it's the best made record, best sounding record, but you get to hear his voice raw, and it's amazing. You get the crowd involved, and you really feel the music, and you really feel what James Brown was at the time. So many great songs on here. All the stuff he was singing at the time. And
that's one of the most famous live records ever.
Yeah, this is pretty much it's actually, I think I saw somewhere that it was considered the #1 live album of all time. And it was kind of probably one of the first real live ones, because no one, like, I think the president of the company's like, if you do a live album, then they're not going to come to the shows because they already have your live show, which that guy was a little disconnected on what that's all about. And this didn't get released on CD until 1990. The master was lost. It was in a warehouse mislabeled with hundreds of thousands of records, some are masters, and the guy was looking for Max Roach came across the master, and then they were able to do the CD. But it wasn't until 1990 that we got the CD. So there's so much stuff out there that they just can't find the masters. And every once in a while, they just come across it in a closet or somewhere. And luckily, they came across and we got this. So we get some nice reissues of this. And
Crazy.
it's a great album, guys. You need to definitely give it a try. I've had the album a bunch of times. I was listening to this for the past 2 or 3 days in my car because I still have a CD player in my car. And it's really great. And when I was getting my oil change, I was blaring it, and the guys at the oil change place was really digging it. So give it a try, guys. It's awesome.
Well, Sean, I was debating on James Brown's Sex Machine because it belongs on there too. And James Brown, man, I have never run into a bad James Brown album.
He's the godfather of soul.
They are funky and fun, and it is hard to sit still when James Brown is playing. Great choice.
Yeah. There you go. All right. So we're back around for your last one.
All right. So back on, Scott kind of touched on it. I love post-punk records, alternative records. And I was really struggling around with, should I do metal? Should I do alternative? And then I was flipping through the albums and I came across Bob Mould's Workbook from 1989, 1990, something like that. This is when Bob Mould broke out from his first solo album from Husker Du. And this is a beautiful album that takes you on a journey. It starts very acoustic. Beautiful songs. Wishing Well was I think a hit back then. Starts with Sunray or Sunspots, which is just an acoustic song, and then it goes into Wishing Well, Heartbreak a Stranger, and it just continually builds until it gets to the end, which is a song called Whichever Way the Wind Blows. And the song is about the chicken crossing the road, but it sounds like Husker Du, a metal version of Husker Du. And so you go from this beautiful acoustic sounding opening to this harsh, really hard Bob Mould screaming about a chicken crossing the road. Classic album. And then it leads into the next one, gets a little bit harder with Black Sheets of Rain, and then he formed the band Sugar and so forth. Seen Bob multiple times. Without Husker Du, Bob Mould, there's a lot of music that would be lacking. Foo Fighters, I know the Foo Fighters are huge Husker Du, Bob Mould fans. So if you're not familiar with Bob Mould, shame on you, first of all. Second of all, go find this record. Go find this record. Bob Mould's Workbook.
I do. I mean, you see Bob's name around all the time at Husker Du. I don't know why I've never sought that out to even listen to it, but several people, they love them. So I'm going to have to put that on my list. And it looks like Sean too.
And that's why we do it, because we learn music from each other, guys.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
All right. So, Scott, you're up next with your last one.
Okay. Well, Thomas is crying about he'd rather have blues than jazz. Joe's coming back in May, by the way. He'll be back in May. So we'll get some blues records with Joe. But I'm going to do a blues-influenced record. And this group, I think most of the time I kind of think of them like maybe Psych. I don't know. I don't know what you'd put them in. But they were coming off of a stinker of an album where they used their hard-earned money and did some lavish production and brought in strings. And the critics hated it. Fans didn't love it. So they go on tour. They're touring that. They end that tour. They're burned out. They've been on the road just year after year, cranking albums out. And the lead singer exposes himself, gets arrested, and then they're banned from touring. So they have to go home. And I guess they give them some time to reflect. And they came out in a little bit of a new direction. It wasn't back to the old sound, but it was a variation of the old sound. It's this record, The Doors, Morrison Hotel. You know, when I think about Doors, and I love almost all the Doors. Not Soft Parade. Soft Parade was the clunker of the album. I mean, it's okay, but the rest of her catalog is just terrific. And it was very hard for me when I looked at the list and I said, we don't have a Doors record on the 500. And some other people might go in different directions, but I tell you what, you've dropped the needle on this, and Roadhouse Blues starts, and I'm in. And this has just more of an album sound. I think it's a very cohesive record. And even the critics did not love this. The thing about the critics, they always get the ability to do revisionist history. And now, you know, after everybody else loved the record, the critics love the record now. Funny how that works that way. But I like it. And I got to say, I was a little nervous about picking the Doors because my daughter, Whitney, if you're out there, hello. She's a big Doors fan. So I'm like, I'm afraid to get this wrong. So I text her. I was like, oh, I'm doing a Doors record tonight. I just want to know, what is your favorite Doors record? And she came back with Self-Titled, and she said, because that's where it started. I was like, okay. And I said, I'm picking Morrison Hotel. She goes, that's number 2. I was like, okay, I won't get kicked out of the family because I picked the wrong Doors record. Oh, she's there. Hi, babe. That's my daughter. So anyway, I listened to it again. I hadn't listened to it in a while. I listened to it again today, and I was like, yeah, that was a good choice. I've always just, like Eric said, if you're playing songs, there's probably more like playlist songs on some other albums, right? But if you're listening to an album, Morrison Hotel has been my favorite Doors for that. It's an album. Listen to the whole thing. It does have a sound, and it's just a little more. They went more to blues, like Chicago-based blues. You know, simple blues riffs on the guitar. You know, and a little less psyche sounding, I think, on this record. So that's kind of why I like it. All right. But the Doors have finally, after 300 records, the Doors have one in the 500.
Wow.
Now, allegedly, my mother met Jim Morrison because back in the day when they toured, it was music halls and a local band would play. Her friend's band played. And the only impression she got from him that he smelled really bad. Whether that means anything, but that's the only thing she remembers from the whole experience.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
But we're still trying to corroborate the story. I don't know if she was on drugs at that point. I don't know. But
he probably was.
Well, I'm sure he was. And he didn't have right guard on, apparently. So
I'm curious, is the number 3 Doors album Strange Days or LA Woman?
For me, it's LA Woman, but my daughter is here. So,
Whitney,
what's your number 3 record?
Because my number 1 is Strange Days.
Oh, it is. Yeah, I like you. You know, a lot of times
I like it because it's weird.
Yeah, well, you can get into arguments with people about these albums, and with the Doors, I don't get upset if people say any album, unless they said Soft Parade, then I'd question their judgment. But or the one they did by themselves, where they just put music to his poetry or whatever.
Oh yeah.
They all have. If somebody would say that's my favorite, I'm like, okay, I can see that. That's a good record. LA Woman is Whitney's.
There you go. All right. So my next album, this is one of the ones that I really wasn't that familiar with. So I'm still processing this record. It's interesting. I know I'm going to like it. Right now, I'm still trying to figure it out. And my record, because again, we want to try new stuff, and I decided to try this one. And
awesome.
Especially when I was listening to the first track, and I'm like, Gloria, and then it started, and I'm like, this is not Gloria. Okay, this is her version of a song. Just happens to be named Gloria. And the next thing I hear, I'm Gloria, Gloria. I'm like, so I was a little confused, but this came out, 1975. Was an avant-garde, free jazz, rock. She was really into poetry, and you can really tell it in the songs. So I was watching it I was using Amazon Music, so I had the lyrics, and you can definitely tell that she loved poetry. And again, I am still processing this, so I don't have a lot. But again, I love the backstory She was at CBGB. They had a stint at CBGB's. And Clive Davis, of all people, signed her, which I wouldn't think Clive Davis would have been into that kind of music. But we got Clive Davis. And then John Cale from Velvet Underground produced the record. And I definitely think it's very unique, and I think it's one that definitely needs to be in the 500. And again, I don't know what you guys can say about it, but again, I'm still working on it in my brain. Typically, I don't know if you guys, there's some music where you hear it first and you're kind of like, I don't know if I like this, but then it grows on you. And this album, I can tell, is going to be that for me. So I don't know what you guys have to say about it.
I love that record.
Yeah,
love that record.
I listened to it.
I like Patti.
Yeah, I haven't listened to it in a long, long time, but that was one of those albums I remember putting on being like, wow.
Yeah.
This is phenomenal. And so is her Easter album too.
I was going to say, if you want to if you want to get into check out Patti Smith, it's either Do Horses or Easter. Those are probably her two prominent pieces of work. And then I like them both. And good records.
Yeah. And that's what I like about the 500. It brings music to you guys, but it's also bringing music to us that we don't necessarily know about, like with Eric's picks today, with Ava Cassidy, and it's fun for us too, because we're listening to some stuff we haven't heard before, and that I'm sure I've heard some of it, but I never listened to from beginning to end, and I did that a few times, and still working on it.
It's a vibe record too. I think you put it on. It's a good record because it has a vibe to it. So you mentioned Eva Cassidy. Did you and Mr. Shark listen to Eva Cassidy?
Not yet.
You guys would love her. It's amazing.
Yeah, well, that's on the list. We've been listening to the stuff that's on the list a lot. So, and also Olivia Rodrigo, and not Olivia Rodrigo, but Olivia Dean, and
that Olivia Dean's really.
And
good.
She's been listening to XM, but she's listening to John Mayer's station. And he is all over the place. So it's a great intro to different types of music too. But then she's also committed to listening to the whole CD. Like she's been buying CDs again, and she's been listening to the whole thing in her car. And then we'll, do some XM. Guess now she's got $3 a month instead of whatever they charge. But John Mayer is definitely introducing new music to us.
See, and I gotta say, I am nowhere on near being a John Mayer fan.
Right, but the music that he puts in his playlist, though, is eclectic all over the place.
No,
it's all kinds of stuff.
I might like his playlist. Okay,
it's so much stuff. There's dead stuff. He's all over the place. So it's a great little expose you to different music. So
Scott, are you a I hate my body as a wonderland, or I hate John Mayer as just as a musician, because his blues albums and what he did with Dead and Company. Man, I was with you. I was not a big John Mayer pop fan, but oh my God, that guy is one of the best guitar players alive.
Yeah, see, my problem with, and I've listened to.
You can't look at his face though. You cannot look at his face while he's playing. His facial expressions, like that meme with him like holding the fish or whatever.
Yeah.
Instead of a guitar, spot on. You can't watch him, but oh my God, he is so talented.
And I will concede that so many guitar players say that he's a talented guitar player. I just like, he doesn't do anything. Music has to strike your soul. Like you have to feel it. There's nothing he's ever done. I mean, when he went,
Try. You listen to the album Try.
The one I liked was the one he went a little 80s on. What was that called? That had the
Sob Rock.
Sob Rock. I thought this is not bad.
Album.
This is not bad.
Yep, it's a great album.
Okay,
it's got the nice price sticker on it.
Okay, Chad. I just said I do like that record. So I think I actually have that on vinyl.
Because now they're all beating up on you because you just said you didn't like John Mayer.
You gotta watch it. This is a John Mayer crowd.
Yeah, this is his fan club apparently.
What he did with Dead and Company, I am telling you, he brought a different life into Grateful Dead music, and it's so much. Adam, I love you again because you listen to that early 70s or early 60s, that 72, 73, 74 era. Then you get into the 77 stuff around Shakedown Street and Terrapin Station, but you've heard those songs so many times.
Mhm.
And then John Mayer comes along and brings this harder rock almost edge to it, a little bit more of a jazzy feel. I just was blown away when I saw them live. I really didn't think I would like it. And it was incredible. And my sister is a huge Deadhead. And I took them to see Dead and Company begrudgingly in Atlanta, and both of them walked out. Okay, I get it now.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
that's why music is so much fun.
and that could be I have no John Mayer experience like that. It's just, but I think that's one thing you got to be true about music. Like, I don't get too disappointed when I give people music to listen to, they come back and they don't like it, because I do think the good music, what you like, strikes you in a way inside, and he just never really done it for me. There's not I would not go to the cabinet and pull out a John Mayer record to put it on. There's just not a song that's going to make me expend that energy. So I apologize. I probably should get this out since I'm taking arrows because my John Mayer. I also cannot stand Kiss. So sorry if there's any Kiss fans out there.
We may need to do a 2 Deadhead on the record show.
I was going to say we might need to, and maybe we need to have a let's throw arrows at Scott show. I can't believe you just threw Kiss under the bus, because that was another band. Kiss Dynasty was going to be my number.
You should have went for it, because
none of us were going to do it.
None of us
we
really
had
like
another fight about it.
We're gonna have to get you back to get Kiss in, because I ain't putting a damn Kiss record on there.
I get Hard Luck Woman and Beth. Hard Luck and Woman and Beth. That's it. That's it for me.
Oh man.
The Destroyer,
and their live shows.
Destroyer is the closest thing they have to a decent record. I will agree.
Go listen to The Elder.
The Elder is
a
horrific. It's horrific.
When's the last time you listened to it?
When it came out, because I listened to it and I said it's terrible.
Go listen to it again. It is much better today than it was.
All right, I'm going to write that down, Eric. I'm going to report back to you. I cannot believe that I'm actually going to do 40 years later. I'm going to listen to a record that when I bought the cassette, I said, this is one of the biggest pieces of crap I've ever heard.
Like Jake and just throw it out the window. Just throw it out the window.
That would be a fun show, because there are albums that I just absolutely hated. I remember buying, what was it? I bought, I'm going to get arrows for this one. I bought the Sublime CD on one end of town, listened to it, and I stopped at CD Warehouse and sold it. And I did that with I can't stand the Offspring. I hate the Offspring. I did that with Offspring's big album too. I listened to it on one side of town. And
what's it, Americana?
No, not the Americana.
Smash?
The one that Smash.
You got to keep them separated.
That's exactly it. Oh,
yeah.
And yeah, I couldn't get it out of my car fast enough. I'm surprised I didn't chuck it out the window. My friends still make fun of me. Are you sure you don't want to go see Offspring? Not unless Bob Mould is playing.
I've heard that about Offspring. There's people that just absolutely hate them.
Well, we've been holding that back for like 23 episodes, Sean, that none of us like Kiss.
I know.
So, we'll just get it out there.
Before we started this whole thing, we were talking about things on the list, and we're like, Kiss is just songs about groupies and maybe one song per album. That's it.
Yeah. 6-year-old could write the lyrics for Kiss.
Yeah. Well, no, because it's too
for sure.
Yeah.
If they were very mature. Yeah.
Okay, an 8th grader would be the perfect equivalent. 8th grade. Yeah.
Yeah.
Music snob. I'm not a snob.
We should have a show of the worst albums ever. It could be quite a debate.
Okay. Well, my son-in-law is here too, and he wants to know what's the temperature in the room on Nickelback. They take too much hate. They're 10 times better than Kiss.
They're better than, well, here's the thing. I think my wife hates Nickelback. We were in the car and she almost crashed the car trying to change it as fast as she could because she didn't want to hear Nickelback. So
now I've seen Nickelback in concert, and they are really, honestly, they are a great band.
I'm sure they are. Just some people, some artists.
It was the Photograph. It was that Photograph song.
It was.
Right?
That they had their Billy Squire dancing around in that video that killed his career. That's what turned people against Nickelback. But if you go listen to some of the earlier Nickelback, it was dynamite. That they had, complex themes. And they kind of became a character of themselves as they went on.
Mm-hmm.
But of all the bands you want to pick on, pick on. Oh, I'm sorry. Pick on Kiss. Don't pick on Nickelback.
All right, let's we can bash some. We can keep doing this, but let's talk about the because that is fun. Let's talk about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and the inductees, guys. I'm going to show you guys the list, and what do you guys think about that?
I was shocked by some of it,
and it seemed like they let a lot of people in. I mean, which is nice because it's really just a music Hall of Fame, not necessarily Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Because I think a lot of people immediately think rock and roll, and then look at the list going, Celia Cruz, Queen Latifah, MC Light. It's a music Hall of Fame. Celia Cruz, I've sold a couple of her albums. She's a Latin singer, right? Yeah. So, but the ones in the middle, I mean, love me some Phil Collins. You know how we love Phil Collins.
Yeah.
Billy Idol, Iron Maiden, Oasis, Sade, Luther Vandross, Wu-Tang. It's a good list. Iron Maiden made it. What do you guys think about the list? Pick on the Fall Out Boys. You want us to pick on the Fall Out Boys so no one buys their RSD because you want it, Adam.
I'm buying that record. I'm buying that Fall Out Boy record for Adam.
So I've come to terms with it's a music Hall of Fame, and that's fine. Because I don't like that battle. It's a music Hall of Fame. I'm glad to see Luther on it. Luther Vandross was amazing.
I mean, most of the people were deserving. That's what we talked about. Like, a lot of these people are great. I was surprised to see Luther, even though I was advocating at the time when we were looking at the list that, I mean, the guy was huge for like 10 years. He ruled, took over for Barry White in that crooner category and had it on lockdown. Very glad to see Sade. Iron Maiden, Phil Collins. I'm not so sure about Joy Division, New Order. I mean, I like them, but I don't know if some of the ones that didn't make it. And I'm surprised about Billy Idol. I like Billy Idol, but I'm surprised that he got in.
Yeah, Billy Idol might be a little bit of a surprise. But yeah, I'm happy with the list.
I'm surprised you're surprised at Joy Division because they influenced so many bands in the post-punk era.
I don't put a lot of weight, Eric, on the influence. Like, what was Joy Division? 2 records, and
right.
And I know they're basically the same band, just what the guitar sings now or whatever or sings. But I get it.
They influenced Curtis died, yeah. But New Order. If you didn't tell me that New Order was Joy Division's band, I don't think I would know that. They're way too synthy.
Yeah, that was the big change when it went to New Order. Besides the voice of the singer.
Yeah.
I just don't
Iron
know.
Maiden, 100% is well overdue for Iron Maiden.
Yeah,
if you
way overdue.
Lyrics, they're like a history lesson.
Yeah.
I really don't have an issue with anybody on this list.
No, I don't really either. I mean, I get the influence thing with Joy Division, New Order, but if I was a voter, I probably wouldn't have picked that. I mean, Iron Maiden, Phil Collins, I thought were the 2 most deserving because Iron Maiden had Europe on lockdown for like 15 years. Like, they were massive. Probably Metallica came and took that mantle from them eventually, but their worldwide popularity was just killer.
Yeah, Adam makes a good point. What do you think, Black Crowes over Billy Idol?
I'd almost say that was a tie. I wasn't sold on Black Crowes getting in quite yet either. So, I mean, Black Crowes' first 2 records are killer. Billy Idol had 2 killer records too. That's why I said they're about equal, If
they don't use a cowbell. All right, so that was a little bit of talk about that. I felt we needed to talk about that, and now we get to the why we're here, and this is where we talk about I'm in the movie theater, getting ready for this conversation about essential. I don't want to say greatest, essential movie soundtracks, and let Scott take it away.
Well, it played right into it tonight because we've riled people up. So I think this segment's definitely going to rile some people up. And it's also unique in the way that we're going to do the segment. So here's how we're going to do it. We're going to do some show and tell, maybe a little avocation for some soundtracks. And then you guys can participate in the chat. And at the end, we're all going to name 5. And I have Jake's 5 already. He did pass that along to us. So we're going to name 5, but everybody go grab either open your notes app or grab a pen and paper, because we want everybody that's in here. We got 19 people in live chat. And if you're watching it after the live stream, you can do it in comments. I want you to put your 5 in there. So here's what's going to happen. Here's what's going to happen. Everything that Jake, Eric, me, and Sean select, that's going on the list, right? So if we make a selection, it's on the list. You guys, if we see in the comments a clear one that we missed that you guys believe needs to be on there, it will be on the list. So we are really taking this crowdsourcing. We have 20 people that have participated so far in adding to the Essential 500. Tonight, everybody in chat gets a chance to add to the 500 too. So, Sean, let's talk about some soundtracks.
All right. So am I showing one? Is that what I'm doing? Or
Yeah, so, put some stuff in front of people to get them to think. There you go.
Come on, leads off with Jackson Brown. And, right in part of the movie where somebody's baby, right where
that's a great song.
That scene is. And you can hear the song and that you can remember the scene. So it's very, how many soundtracks you can name, like every song where it happened in the movie. This is one. I mean, such a great album.
But don't you have to, I love that record too, but don't you have to take negative points off that they couldn't coordinate the movie? Whoever the music director was couldn't tell them that Kashmir is not the first song on the second side of Led Zeppelin 4. I mean, come on.
But that was the joke.
And of course it has Jimmy Buffett on it, so you know what I mean. But we have Jackson Brown, you got Sammy Hagar, Don Felder, Don Henley, Timothy B. Schmidt, baby. Stevie Nicks, Joe Walsh, Billy Squire, Donna Summer. I mean, it's definitely should be on the top 5. So that's my first.
All right, Eric, you throw one out there, and we can pick the pace. You don't have to do it. You don't have to talk about them. Just throw them out there, and you can say something about them, but we can go.
All right.
Quicker.
So I have bought a lot of these Japanese albums, so I've listened to this probably 5 times in the last couple of months, and every time I listen to all 4 sides, classic.
There you go. It is a classic.
Such an awesome album, top to bottom. It's got great songs. It's got greater songs. It's got Yvonne Elliman on here with If I Can't Have You. Oh my God. So good.
Which was also written by the Gibb brothers.
Yep. Awesome. Awesome.
Was that Calypso Breakdown by Ralph McDonald, which was a member of the Jimmy Buffett's Coral Reefer Band. So he's more established than Jimmy Buffett just by that record alone, and sold more records.
The worst song on here by far, though, Boogie Shoes, Casey and the Sunshine Band. That one.
I like that song.
It did fit in the movie, though.
It did fit in.
Boogie Shoes.
Okay, I'm gonna
There's
throw
my safe one.
I'm not doing anything in any particular order. I'm just gonna throw Pretty in Pink up here. And I love the original songs. Of course, If You Leave, OMD. But the one I love on here is Pretty in Pink, the Psychedelic Furs. I love that song. So, Pretty in Pink, in my opinion, might be the best of the Brat Pack, John Carpenter ones. So, anyway, I like this.
My next one
It's edgier than the others.
Okay, I'm gonna hold it here because this is actually more songs, but the Big Chill soundtrack. You have some amazing Motown, great soundtrack. Everyone should own this one.
Great.
But this is the more of. But
the first soundtrack I fell in love with was Big Chill. Great soundtrack. Eric, what you got?
Pump up the volume.
I was mentioned a few things. By the way, for those, if you're not on Discord, you missed a very lively discussion this week on this topic. So there's already been some advocacy going on Discord. That record came up a few times. People were saying that one.
So awesome. And I remember at the time it introduced me to a bunch of the bands, starts off with Concrete Blonde. You got the Pixies on here. You've got Peter Murphy on here, Soundgarden. And I think this was the album that introduced me to Sonic Youth, Titanium Exposure, that's on Goo. Fantastic alternative album and a great movie. Still holds the test of time. And I'm glad they re-released it. This is an OG, but they did re-release it recently.
Who is it? Sean, you got another one?
I'll do another one. Urban Cowboy.
Great soundtrack.
And of course, it has Jimmy Buffett on it. But
it's Joe Walsh.
And Joe Walsh also. So there's some people that keep showing up in soundtracks.
Who was that? Was it Johnny Lee? Who sang the
Mickey Gilley?
Mickey Gilley's on there.
Gilley.
Bonnie Raitt's got 2 songs.
Yeah.
Boz Scaggs, Bob Seger, 9 Tonight. Dan Fogelberg, the Eagles, Lion Eyes is on this. So
I do not own that album.
Yeah. So there you go.
All right. I'm just going to throw this a less than 0. I don't know whether Eric is fawning over the fact that he likes less than 0 or that I'm holding the Japanese press of it.
So I sold mine to Andrew, AC Sig.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Are you sure you want to let that go? Because it was a promo."
Yeah.
I said, "No, I've got the OG. I'll let it go." But yeah, no. Then I'm like, "I'll find it again." Good luck.
It's a little edgier soundtrack. It's got Public Enemy on it.
Slayer.
Yeah.
Jamie Gertz is in that movie. If Toothpaste King is around. Didn't know who she was.
Eric, you got
I
any more?
love that movie. Oh, of course I do.
Let's keep it rolling there. Oh,
Vision
that
Quest.
is such a fan. Best soundtrack to a terrible movie. I said that in my stream, and some people said, I love Vision Quest, the movie.
So, all right, it's a typical 80s movie, the underdog takes on the king and wins, whether it's Rocky or Loudon Swain.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the soundtrack on here, Journey's Only the One, Only the Young,
Mm-hmm.
Madonna's Gambler, Dio Hungry for Heaven.
Yeah, Dio and Madonna
Reiner.
on the same album.
Lunatic Fringe is a phenomenal song.
Oh, it's
Sammy
a great
Hagar,
song.
I'll
Yeah.
Fall in Love Again, Hot Blooded, and Crazy for You. This
Killer.
is a well-rounded soundtrack. Not a bad
Right.
song on it.
I agree. Okay, Sean, I've given you a context clue there. Do you have that?
What? I missed.
Look at the bottom of the screen.
I do not. So yeah, I'm gonna say compilation and not soundtrack. No, I think that the Guardians of the Galaxy series, the Wolverine, Deadpool versus Wolverine are amazing compilation albums. I don't know if I'd put them in the top. I don't know, because there seem almost to be, you could almost play some of those songs and put a different song and not affect the movie at all. So like, to me, like Good Morning Vietnam, it was the era of the songs matched. So I don't know. I'm a little different on that, but I think they're amazing. I don't know. I mean, do you just do one, or do you put 1, 2, and 3 as one? Because they're all really good.
They get worse. Like one is the classic. So, I love Sean, but Sean doesn't know what he's talking about. The Guardians of the Galaxy is in there for consideration. That is the volume 1 mainly, I think, is the one that's really terrific. So, all right. St. Elmo's Fire.
Phenomenal.
Yeah. So you got the John Parr song, Man in Motion. Huge song. Billy Squier has a song on here. John Anderson song. So it's solid record. And you forget about some of these songs too.
All right, my next one nobody has mentioned even remotely, and that's Jimmy Cliff's "The Harder They Fall."
I
Really,
know Adam's cheering that one.
really great album. You have Two to the Maytals, or actually you have the Maytals, Pressure Drop, Jimmy Cliff, the Melodians, Desmond Decker. This should definitely be in, well, it is now, an essential record. That's mine. And no one, I never seen anyone mention that one.
I'm just thinking of all of these soundtracks now that I wasn't thinking about, like Say Anything, John, with no, not Say Anything. She's having a baby. If you remember in the movie, Bob Seger's "She's Living in My Heart" is one of the best songs that I don't think was on another album.
No, he didn't put that on. He didn't even put that on a comp later.
Yeah.
So
yeah, such an awesome. I should run and grab it, but
I have one over there, and it's crossed out.
too.
It says it crossed out says "We're having a baby," and someone put an ultrasound on the front of the cover, and it was an announcement as for a birth.
all right, so Dennis has asked the question, like, are you guys counting original soundtracks like Eddie and the Cruisers in Grease, or just compilations? No, they're all in there. The only thing we ruled out is scores. Just to pare it down a little bit. So it can be a compilation. It could be all original stuff. It doesn't matter. That's Eddie and the Cruisers have been mentioned a couple times. That's a great one. On the Dark Side, what a great song. Seasons in Hell, great song. And that's actually John Cafferty and the Beaver Brown Band. So great. I'll throw another one up here. Stand By Me. If you want your soundtracks coming in 50s flavor, here you go. I think everybody forgets that this is a solid soundtrack.
You have John Lennon on there, and
Yakety Yak, the Coasters, Great Balls of Fire, Jerry Lee Lewis, Stand By Me, of course, Benny King. Just a great. If you like 50s, this is a great comp right here. Stand By Me soundtrack.
Too short. It's a very short soundtrack.
Yeah.
ready?
Yeah, go. Somebody go.
The Muppet
The
movie.
Muppet movie.
You have, Rainbow Connection moving right along. The first two bangers right out of the gates. Amazing. This one wasn't mentioned either. You guys were all thinking, come on.
Yeah, nobody said that. I didn't see the Muppet movie mentioned in the thread. So.
Yeah. So there you go, guys. I have to be different, but I think it deserves to be there. We all remember it growing up. You do.
So somebody said which record did, what you got there, Eric?
Natural Born Killers.
Oh, that was mentioned a couple times. Yeah.
So good. Leonard Cohen, L7, 9 Inch Nails, Bob Dylan. I mean, it is, you want to talk about eclectic and going on a journey. The soundtrack, well, this movie is trippy as hell anyway, but man, the soundtrack just made it. I really think the soundtrack made this movie. Absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, that one's gotten a few votes. Okay, I'm just going to get this one over with. It's already been mentioned a couple times. Top Gun. Kenny Loggins. Berlin. There you go.
I had that one too, and then 90s
Reality
alternative.
Bites. There you go.
I like that one too.
Such a great movie and a great album.
Fionna.
Angela, it's not over Walk the Line. It's just there's room for both.
You're killing me some balls. All right, Sean. You got another one?
Well,
I didn't even think about the wall.
I mean, I did my 5. Well, the movie was made after, right? It was after.
We're not doing 5. You're not doing 5 till later. Just keep going.
Oh, I just did my 5.
You didn't pay attention.
Yeah. 51st Dates.
I love that movie.
That's a great movie and a great soundtrack.
I love that movie.
You got Forgetful Lucy on it. But yeah, my 5 were the first ones I showed.
Oh, you.
I got it all wrong.
Good thing HR isn't here because I'd be reporting you.
Well, we haven't, what we did.
Insubordination.
We didn't show Jake's. Let's show Jake's a couple of his.
No, we're not showing anybody.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I got it now. But mine already happened. I messed it up.
I don't know what the gummy prescription is, Sean, but let's cut it down by about half before the show. Okay.
All right. All right.
I'll throw one up.
There you go.
Breakfast Club. Simple Minds. That was like Simple Minds. I think they've come to love that song, but they hated it that they didn't write it. But I'm like, yeah, go ahead and hate that thing that made you international stars.
Someone's called me a butt. Floyd.
So I would say, what's that record? I just got it in. Alive and Kicking and Sanctify Yourself and all that. They would not have had a biggest hit with that record if it wasn't.
Once Upon a Time.
Yeah, Once Upon a Time. If it wasn't for the exposure they got from being on this soundtrack. All right.
I'll do Jake's as mine. My 5.
Jesus. What is that?
Buster.
Phil Collins, Groovy Kind of Love, and Two Hearts. I never saw the movie ever.
Yeah. I don't see that. Eric?
I don't think anybody did. Another one up?
Yeah.
How about The Wedding Singer?
Awesome.
Classic 80s. Video killed the radio star.
That's had a few votes. All right. I'm going to go, in my mind, what do you got there, Sean? Inner Space?
It has Twisting the Night Away, Rod Stewart, and then Cupid, Sam Cooke. Love the movie.
Now I got to go get a couple more.
All right. There's two that I just think are really hard to beat. And one of them is Dazed and Confused. 2LP. And Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo, Slow Ride, School's Out, Jim Dandy, Tush, Love Hurts, Stranglehold, Cherry Bomb, Fox on the Run, Lowrider, Tuesday's Gone, Highway Star, and Rock and Roll All Night, and Paranoid. Amazing.
I'm just going to put this because I own it and I like it. Great Outdoors.
Yeah, bad soundtrack, bad movie.
I love that movie.
All right, well, Eric's getting one. I'll throw up one that is pretty obvious. Footloose. This is a killer soundtrack.
Such a killer.
You got the obvious, Footloose. Let's hear it for the boys. Almost Paradise, the big ballad with Ann Wilson and Mike Reno. You got a terrific. Okay, don't hold that up. Hold that, Sean. And you got a terrific Sammy Hagar. Grease, very popular in my family. My daughter and my wife. That would probably be in their top 5.
All right. God, here's some. Lost Boys.
Oh, Jimmy Barnes and NXS.
Yes.
Great soundtrack. Pretty in Pink.
There you go. That's an OG.
Repo Man. Classic. Wow. This is where. So I bought this album. A friend of mine bought this album for me in high school because he wanted me to record it to him for him on CD record it on tape, cassette tape, and he let me keep the album. So this is the original from high school. But yeah, this was like one of my first introductions to all the punk music.
Okay, what you got? Caddyshack. That's a good one.
Is this what Kenny Loggins? Is this what made Kenny Loggins the soundtrack guy?
It might have been the first time he had a hit with a soundtrack song.
All right.
And then they kept using them for all these other movies. So
worked out for Kenny Loggins.
Yeah.
All right. So Stacey, remember what I said? This is audience participation. We're just showing you records. We haven't picked any yet. You are free to chat in the ones you want. All right. So get in there, girl. Type in some Queen of the Damned. There you go.
Static X.
That's a great movie.
Got that one too.
You got to do the mess around.
I'm cheating. This is a soundtrack, but it's a soundtrack to a TV series. But it's got some good songs in the air tonight. Smuggler's Blues, a couple Glenn Frey songs, and of course the theme. Pulp Fiction. Yeah, nice.
Jungle Boogie.
I love Pulp Fiction. This one just because I have it.
Okay, Stacey gave her suggestions. I gotta find Stacey's suggestions.
Bad movie, bad soundtrack.
All right.
It's all right.
Muppet caper.
You're really scraping the bottom of the barrel now. Okay, so I will. Eric just never runs out of soundtracks.
Never runs out of sound. Oh, and look where that came from. Final King. Metal all the way.
Sing 2. Oh, American History X. Man, what a movie. I love that movie.
Sing 2 over the Muppet movie? No.
All right. Beverly Hills Cop. Oh, I meant that. I have that. I meant to bring Beverly Hills Cop. That's a good. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to go around. We have Jake's.
Yeah, and I'll show you Jake's. I have him here.
Oh, I don't, but he changed it. I don't know if you have it, but.
Yeah, John Hughes. John Hughes movies. She's
John
having
Hughes.
a baby.
Yeah.
Say anything.
Yeah.
Well, there was one he changed. I know.
Okay, so this is from Jake. Romeo and Juliet.
Ooh.
There it is. Am I going next? What's going on?
Well, I'll just give you Jake's top 5. We're going to give our top 5. You give all 5 of your top 5.
All right.
Romeo and Juliet. This is Jake. Heavy Metal.
Ooh.
The Crow. The Crow was mentioned several times in the thread. Singles. And Purple Rain. We did not. I'm sure we all have a copy of Purple Rain. Nobody brought Purple Rain to the show.
Nope.
Very good picks.
Yep.
All right.
He had
Sean?
great picks.
Well, you guys saw mine. The Muppet movie. The Jimmy Cliff. How do they come? How do they fall? Or how do they come? Urban Cowboy. Big Chill. Fast Times. And did I show that one? I did. And
Yeah,
that
you
one,
did.
Urban Cowboy. Those are my 5. I did it wrong, but those were my 5.
All right. So we're going to let the guest go last, who'll have the last say. So here's mine. The Big Chill, Footloose, FM, Dazed and Confused, and Vision Quest.
I didn't even think of FM.
Oh, what a comp.
Wow.
I
Yeah, that is a
just
hell
didn't
of
have
a
an
comp.
Andy. That's got Jimmy Buffett on it too.
Yeah, so my top 5 singles, 100%. And mine were top 5 anyway. So Saturday Night Fever, still a top 5.
Juno was very good.
Pump Up the Volume. Vision Quest. And then
Napoleon Dynamite.
I'm going to go Say Anything.
Okay.
Cool. See, he did the same thing. Best soundtracks, my opinion, yes. So, what did I see in there that I'm trying to remember what I saw people writing in the comments. Napoleon Dynamite is definitely a good one. There's someone said Moulin Rouge. Coast to Coast has Jimmy on it. Mary Poppins. I mean, you can't go wrong with Mary Poppins. Beverly Hills Cop. American History. Meatballs. Also, someone also said Animal House.
The Juno soundtrack is that's a nice soundtrack.
Yeah. Don't forget Blues Brothers, guys. We didn't mention Blues Brothers.
And in the thread, somebody had thrown out Into the Wild too. That Eddie Vedder. That's nice. Yeah.
Twilight, Barbie.
That is a great one.
Rhinestone Cowboy. No, that won't go on the 500.
I will tell you.
Sylvester Stallone singing is not good.
So remember,
Dirty Dancing.
Oh, nobody said Dirty
Dancing.
Dirty Dancing.
Yeah.
That's and
Great.
you made me think of that because I just saw the video of Patrick Swayze singing She's Like the Wind the other day.
Yeah.
Fantastic album.
Sound of Music. You got to kind of think about that too, because that is in everyone's life and everyone knows Sound of Music. I mean, everyone knows.
Okay, so
Everyone knows.
let's restate. I think we only had a couple that were redundant, but I will do a rewatch of this and like our 4 or 5 picks will get in, and we had some duplicates, so I think we got like 17 or something. Those are going on the list.
I like the I Am Sam soundtrack. I like that a lot.
And then I will reread the chat, and I will look for 5 more. We're going to add 5 more that came through chat, and it's going to be the ones that have the most advocation in the chat.
The Outsiders. I'm not familiar with the Outsiders soundtrack, but I know the movie.
Neither.
Because we all had to read the book in school, and then we watched the movie.
Are you experiencing a medical emergency?
Batata.
What's up with that typing? Batata and BT.
Back to the Future. Back to the Future.
Oh, Back to the Future. Oh,
that's a good one.
Night.
A Hard Day's Night.
Hard Day's Night. Some people mentioned that in the thread.
That's a good soundtrack.
I think it's a decent soundtrack. So I was saying that a couple of the biggest hits on that soundtrack were written by Frankie Previtt, who was the leader of Frankie and the Knockouts. I'm sure he made much more money writing those songs and the royalties over the years than
over on that. Yeah.
With Frankie and the Knockouts. I think they did 4 albums, and basically probably the thing they're most famous for now is Tico Torres came from Frankie and the Knockouts to go to Bon Jovi to be in that band.
And there is a Dirty Dancing picture disc, and it's a watermelon.
Bodyguard, that's a good one. Bodyguard is a great soundtrack.
Put Whitney on anything, but yeah, that's a good soundtrack.
Yeah.
There's also other ones, maybe some older stuff though, like Arlo Guthrie, Alice's Restaurant would be a movie. There's a movie on that. What else?
Isn't that record a soundtrack?
Yeah. So that technically is. Labyrinth. We didn't talk about Labyrinth. I know we did in the Discord, but not on here. Labyrinth. The Rocky ones. Rocky 4. Is that the one with James Brown? I can't remember.
Living in America. I don't remember if that's 3 or 4.
That song always makes me laugh. I don't know.
What, Living in America?
Jazz singer.
Yeah.
Jazz singer.
Oh, Neil Diamond. Oh, yeah.
And that one got a MoFi.
Soundtrack.
That's a soundtrack that got a MoFi. So how many soundtracks have gotten MoFis?
I don't know.
I can only think.
They probably want to do a lot of them, but licensing is already complicated with soundtracks. So,
but the Jazz Singer was a MoFi. No other. I don't think there's any other soundtrack that's a MoFi. The Godfather, but
Hard Day's Night.
Hard Day's Night would be Easy Rider.
Easy Rider. That has to go on the list.
Midnight Cowboy has Harry Nilsson. Everybody's talking, and yeah, there's so many great soundtracks. And come on, guys, mention some more. You guys, come on. There's got to be something.
That's right. You guys have been asking almost for 23 episodes about soundtracks. So this is the soundtrack episode. We're going to dump a bunch of soundtracks on the 500, which technically is really 600 now because originally we were going to do soundtracks and what else? Soundtracks and something else separate.
Bohemian Rhapsody.
Live record. So now they're all together. It's going to be 600.
Yep. The Bohemian Rhapsody movie. The Elton John movie. That was Rocket Man was really good. Wayne's World. That's kind of revived Queen's career. And we got Bohemian Rhapsody probably because of that. So what else? I mean, there's just there is so many.
50 Shades of Grey has music.
13 Reasons Why is a good one. It has Lord Huron on it too. That's the album that got Lord Huron out in the open to the general public. Yeah, Wayne's World definitely is one.
Oh, Wayne's World. That's a huge one.
Yeah, it got Bohemian Rhapsody. So we would talk about Hamilton, and it's on my list.
A Star is Born. That's a good one, Janet.
Well, there's 2 different Star Born. Which one? The original?
I think the Barbra Streisand Evergreen is boring, so I'll go with the Lady Gaga.
Coal Miner's Daughter. That's a good one.
Calling the daughter.
Who am I calling? Calling somebody. There's a 50 Shades with Taylor on it.
About Last Night. That's
But I was thinking about that about last night. That was a great soundtrack.
yeah. Dazed and Confused is in. I put Dazed and Confused in, so that one's in. FM's in. Big
West Side
Chill,
Story.
Vision Quest, Romeo Juliet, Heavy Metal, The Crow, Singles, Purple Rain. They're all in. Even those crazy ones Sean picked are in the Muppet movie.
The Muppet movie
Christ
deserves to be there.
No, it doesn't.
Rainbow Connection and moving right along is bangers. Bangers.
Okie dokie, Sean.
Oh, boy.
Breakfast at Tiffany's. That's another good one.
Yeah.
The Maverick.
Ooh, how about a Charlie Brown's Christmas?
Mm.
Yeah.
Gary Mancini.
Oh yeah. Trin mentioned Willy Wonka.
Yeah.
Oh brother. Yeah, we forgot about Oh Brother Where Art Thou?
That's one of the best-selling soundtracks of all time.
Beaches, another good one.
I don't think I own that one.
You don't have Some Kind of Wonderful.
Some Kind of Wonderful. I almost pulled that out of the rack.
Trying to think.
Listen to the Muppets in order. Yes.
Oh, I know. Oh shoot, what's the name of the show? With Vince Vaughn. They do all of they do takes on Tom Petty songs.
Oh, it's a
Is
TV
it-
show.
TV show.
I watched it. Yeah, it was
Bad.
interesting.
Bad something or
My wife probably knows. We watched it together. What was that called, Jeremy? The Vince Vaughn TV series.
Oh, I
Bad
don't know.
Detective. It was Bad
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 Detective.
Detective.
no, not Bad Detective. That started with Woody Harrelson and
True Detective.
That's True Detective.
True
It was called Bad Detective, I think.
is that it? Bad Detective? Yeah, you're right. It is.
Bad Monkey.
Bad Monkey.
Bad Monkey. Bad Monkey.
Yeah. All right.
That's a great soundtrack.
All right.
Empire.
Valid
How do we not
Oh,
say
and the
Empire?
other one. Here's another one I played the other night. Sliver, with Billy Baldwin and
Sharon
Sharon
Stone.
Stone.
Reservoir Dogs. Dogs, another good one. Wedding
Reservoir
Crashers.
Dogs, that's a good one.
I am acknowledging Valley Girl. That's all I'm doing. So Thomas, you can quit putting me in
Titanic.
jail.
That's one I get requests for all the time in my shows is Titanic.
So here's another great. The reason I like this soundtrack, the vinyl is gorgeous.
It is cool. True Romance. That's a great movie. That's an underrated
Great
movie.
movie.
Dream Girls.
That's a good one.
Let's get some Jennifer Hudson up in
Magical Mystery Tour.
there. Donnie Darko.
That's a good one.
Sergeant Pepper. I don't think the Sergeant Pepper.
Oh,
It-
yeah.
that-
You might as well throw the Whiz in there too.
well, Aerosmith's Come Together was great, but that's all I can take from that. Rocky Horror.
Or-
Rocky
Yeah.
Horror. What do you think about the Tommy soundtrack? The movie soundtrack with all of the different takes from the Tommy album.
I personally don't like it.
It's odd.
Yeah.
Elton John, Pinball Wizard, Tina Turner, the Acid Queen.
So I am literally what I'm going to do. So just so you know, transparency in how the vote will be counted is I'm going through the chat, and every time you mention the soundtrack, it gets a vote. Not if you mention it twice. Thomas, quit putting Valley Girl in there. But I'm going to count them.
Or was it Floyd? Floyd was doing the Valley Girl.
Yeah.
The good and the bad. The
Oh,
ugly.
that's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one, Heidi. I'd love to find that on Japanese press. Never can find it.
Toy Story. You got a friend in me. There's a lot of great Disney. That should almost be a separate
Category.
conversation. Yeah. But Randy Newman, really great on that.
Did we say American Graffiti?
We did not.
We did
That's
not.
a great soundtrack too.
And you got so many stars that appeared there
You get-
first.
Harrison Ford got to start.
I was talking about Stand By Me for the 50s classics. American
Yeah.
Graffiti is another one you can get some great 50s classics on. Transformers.
Yeah, I don't know if I've listened to the
Garden State. Yeah, we've had Garden State a few times.
Forrest Gump, another great one.
Oh, Forrest Gump.
And it definitely goes with the movie and its time frame.
Mm.
Good Morning Vietnam. I would add that too.
I got it. Forrest Gump, what I hate about the Forrest Gump soundtrack is Running on Empty. It's not on the soundtrack. It's the most prominent song in the movie. I guess it was licensing or whatever. So I always kicked that one out. I said, no, if the best song in the movie isn't on the soundtrack, I'm out on the soundtrack. But it is got some great songs on it.
And if you like Neil Young, Where the Buffalo Roam, there's some songs that you'd never hear him sing on the Goonie soundtrack. Bill Murray plays Hunter Thompson. And that's, if you're a Neil Young fan, that's a great soundtrack. But it's if you're a Neil Young fan.
There's so much Neil Young stuff though that.
Yeah, he sings Where the Buffalo.
Oh, you can get a little crazier. How about the 200 Motels by Frank Zappa? Or
Train Spotting.
That's a
Train
good one.
Spotting.
Train Spotting's good. Star Wars
Christmas special.
What is that?
It was. I wouldn't say it was great, but you're a Star Wars fan, you loved it. But
well, why not? We got the freaking Muppets on the list, so let's go. There's no holds barred now. All right, so I'll do the best I can I did want to. I mean, I think that's one of the best things about this list is the crowdsourcing part of it, where you guys get to add. Like I said, this is 20th person who has that. Eric is the 20th person. Next week we'll have the 21st person that helps us put this list together. Now you guys are going to get to participate, and I'll tell you what, there's so many good ones on it. I'm going to go through this and find the 10 more. So we're going to put 30 soundtracks at one time on the list, or 28, whatever. We had a couple duplicates. So
Romeo and Michelle's Wedding is a pretty good one too.
All right.
That is a good one.
And you can get it for $10 at VC.
There you go.
So many of those they have.
So I just want to say that
and don't forget Stranger Things. No one mentioned it in the chat here, but Stranger Things, very similar to Guardians of the Galaxy.
I saw somebody mention Stranger Things.
Yes, it's up there. But very if you think what did it do to revitalize the sales of Kate Bush records?
Bush,
my God.
Ross.
Yeah. Romy. Yeah. So you guys got some good ones. And Sean put the link to the Discord. So I will look through not only the chat here, I will look through the Discord, and I'll try to find what I believe, based on commenting, are 10 more to add. And you guys will hate it because some will feel like I didn't include the one you wanted. But hey, this ain't science. We're just having fun.
I also like When Harry Met Sally soundtrack. That one's a good one too.
I mean, we could take a vote, and if everybody says yes, we could remove the Muppets and add one of the chat's records.
Don't be dissing on Kermit, man.
Yeah, he's had a rough time
That's
with Miss
bad
Piggy.
karma.
And you've seen him singing that 9 Inch Nails song on the YouTube.
Now,
Eric, if you want to see something disturbing, Google YouTube the Kermit and singing "Hurt" 9 Inch Nails. Is 9 Inch Nails?
9 Inch Nails hurt.
So bad. Watch it.
On the list.
Crystal Purple Rain is on the list. It's already in. Now, Eric, I'm going to go
What
back
about
to
Parade? Parade is Princess Parade is actually technically a soundtrack too.
That's true. It is
under the Cherry Moon.
So I'm going to ask you a serious question. You have 20,000 vinyl behind you. I say, Eric, you've got 3 hours to pick out 600 that you can take with you. You be honest now. Are you grabbing the damn Muppets movie? Okay.
Are you grabbing the Kiss?
He's grabbing some Kiss, but
I'm
I
grabbing
mean,
some Kiss.
Save the Jazz.
I mean, you know,
I mean, for Christ's sake, I just got a couple from pure nostalgia.
are those boots?
Boots.
Okay, so I don't know if this is wise or not. I will start my day out tomorrow. Listen to The Elder. I'm going to give it a serious listen. Eric, if it's bad, there's a big time difference. There's 2-hour time difference. I'm calling you to tell you it sucked at 4:00 your time in the morning.
Perfect. Sounds good.
I'm going to tell you, you're going to enjoy the Muppet
reason
movie over The Elder.
And here's why I said that, because I said, "Oh my God, The Elder is a terrible soundtrack to somebody."
Yeah.
And they said, "When's the last time you listened to it?" The one time I listened to it 40 or whatever years ago. Listen to it again. I listened to it again. And I was like, "Oh my God, this actually is really good."
Okay. All right.
So I
That's
was
all
in
me.
your shoes until I spun it again.
Yeah, but he hates Kiss, so the shoes don't match.
Oh, well,
I actually have I have a Kiss playlist on my Rune server. I have a couple Kiss records. I just think marketing here, quality of music here. There's a lot better bands that haven't made $1 billion like Kiss.
Merchandising.
Yeah. They're very good.
And
at it.
And
Very
it's
good
kind of
at
like
image.
Nickelback too, right? Kiss is just so in your face all the time that I think they definitely get some haters about it. I mean, look, Gene Simmons is, well,
yeah.
I wouldn't want to hang out with Gene Simmons, but man, he's a marketing machine for sure. And they put on one hell of a show. And when you go for 2 hours to go see a show, most people don't like their music. But man, they put on a good rock show.
I'm sure a concert. I mean, most concerts are great. I mean, I haven't been to a terrible concert. Stacy, take care.
I have.
Good luck on RSD Day. All right, so
The Elder is lubricated. Man, you guys are all gonna I'm just gonna get all the arrows for The Elder.
You may be right. I'm going to report back on the next episode.
Now I got to go listen to it again tonight and make sure. I may be apologizing before.
It's done, Eric. It's in. I'm locking it in. It's going to get. It'll have to be streamed because I have it on CD. I do have it on CD. So
I don't have it on CD.
I actually probably have most of the Kiss on CD. But let's talk about what's coming up. So next week we're going to have Jake back, and the good news is Jake already has his 3 albums done, and I don't have to chase him down to figure out what his 3 albums are going to be.
Yeah, he texted me and he wanted me to go over his recent acquisitions, but he can save that for next week.
Yeah, he can do that, and then we'll make him not work it hard because he already picked 3 records, so he can just do those 3 records. And the special guest is it's a busy week next week. Special guest is going to be Retro Retreat. Jim is coming on. It'll be his first appearance, and it'll actually be here in my house.
Oh, nice.
We're doing this collaboration big Japanese press show, the 3rd one, on not this Saturday, next Saturday. So he'll be here, and that's going to be a busy weekend because I believe my friend Sean is coming over. Devolutionator is coming over. He lives near here. So we're going to have 4. I don't know if the basement's big enough for 4 whatnot sellers in one room. Like our egos will just be too much. But it should be fun. We do want to thank Eric. I drop in. I don't know that I've ever bought a record from Eric because basically he sells what I sell. But I always appreciate his stream. He's much braver than I am. He opens boxes right in front of everybody and prices everything on the fly. So much braver than I am. But it's great to have you, Eric. I hope you had fun.
Yeah, it was great. Talk about music for 2 hours. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot worse things in life.
And I thought of something that we can talk about, maybe not today, but he mentioned it, like something that you listen to, that you put on and you immediately get goosebumps. What is that for you guys? I think that would be a good topic. And I'm going to tell you one that I have is the Bruce Springsteen live box set. That first song, Thunder Road, you put that on, gives me chills every time. But I think that maybe we'll do that in the Discord songs that just hit you with that way.
The Cure Disintegration.
Oh, really? Yeah, that's I like that record.
I mean,
a lot.
the start of it with the chimes and then how it punches hits me every time. And then the song Disintegration with the glass breaking, and then the end, that crescendo of his on that album is unbelievable.
I would maybe go with the Eva Cassidy record. That record. Do you know that record, Eric? You're a jazz fan.
Mm-mm.
Oh, yes. Adam can endorse it too. You got to get your hands on that. What is it called?
Eva Cassidy.
Live
Adam?
at
the Blues Alley?
Bluebird, or
No, Blues Alley, I think.
Blues Alley. Rainbow Connection. See, Scott gets it. I mean, Adam gets it. Rainbow Connection. Well, we don't have Gonzo talking 25 minutes about Pink Floyd.
or Oasis.
Oh, now I can sit here and talk about Pink Floyd for a few hours if you want.
Well, I'm
Because
glad.
that was one that gave me chills because I grew up in Des Moines, and the radio station in Des Moines, KMGK, had the 3 a.m. CD. And the night before the 4th of, or maybe it was on the 4th of July or night before the 4th of July, they were playing The Wall. And I'd never heard The Wall before. So this is probably like 85, 83, 84, 85, somewhere in there. And I set my alarm. I got up. I recorded side one, stayed up and listened to it, and then came back on to flip the tape. I listened to it in the car heading to my grandparents the next day, and I was blown away. I had never heard anything like it. That was my first foray into Pink Floyd, was The Wall.
Yeah, let's get a Discord thread going on that, Sean. Another, like, something that always strikes me, I get goosebumps. Any live version of Comfortably Numb, the David Gilmour guitar solo, I think is so, I just have an emotional connection to the sound of that solo. It's amazing. Yeah, I thought you'd be too young for that, Adam. But
and the DJ would always talk over the intro.
yes. You sitting there with your finger on the record button. Got it. Oh, missed the beginning of it.
But the DJs intentionally did that.
Yeah. What that DJ care whether you got a copy of it or not?
Yeah.
When you think about, that's the great thing. There's bad things about streaming and there's good things about streaming. Or there was really bad things because of Napster, and there's really good things now because of it. But I mean, the music industry was ridiculous for a long time. Like, nope, radio station, you cannot play that song. The only song off that record you can play is this. So we used to buy records like it'd be the equivalent of going into the showroom. The car's covered up. You don't get to see it. But they just pulled back a fender. There's the fender. It's a great fender. But you got to buy the whole car. I mean, I will say this, not that the record industry doesn't do some good things too, but they have always been their own worst enemy. And they don't treat us very good a lot of times as customers. So from one standpoint, not to the fact that it hurt the artist, but it hurt the record companies more. Then I'm good. Napster came along, and then Steve Jobs came along and said, while I love my vinyl, I love my CDs, I love my glorious system I have, I'm glad streaming exists because you can try anything now. Discovery is so easy. Just go listen to it. And that's great.
I would agree. I definitely agree with you there. I don't like the compression. Sometimes that compression will set the ringing in my ears off.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, I love it. So I used to have, and people still joke about this, I had a terabyte of downloaded music. Most of it was ripped from CDs, but I used to have a terabyte of music, and that terabyte of music got passed around to all of my friends. and people like it just became like the Bible of music, and people still talk about that brick today. Matter of fact, I think my dad still has it. But having stream music, just unlimited access to all that stuff, yeah, I mean, you can go down rabbit holes and find bands that you'd never hear of, like that band, The Traders, I was talking about earlier.
Yep.
I found The Traders because, on Apple Music, when you get to the end of an album, let's say it was the Cure album, probably was, it starts playing, bands like The Cure. And that's how I found that band. It's how I found a band called Haunt Me. So I really like it for that reason, but I don't like it for the reason that you put out a limited edition album now and they struggle to sell 5,000 copies.
Yeah,
that just doesn't seem right.
Yeah, it's good and bad. I mean, the thing about it from the artist perspective, most of them, unless they were big, they weren't making money off of physical media sales anyway. Record company was ripping them off, or manager was ripping them off with songwriting credit and all that stuff. But yeah, glad music exists, but there's some ugly parts of music, and I think it's such a great time. I don't know if I would have came out of my room if we had streaming music. When I was like, access to all this music, you just take it for granted now. But to me, I think it's amazing. I used to listen to the radio for 2 hours just for them to play a song I requested 2 hours ago. I'm listening to, now you just pull up an app and pull it up. That part, that's very nice.
Well, if you think about it too, it's spending way back when, $10 on an album because it has a cool cover, and then you get it home and it's nothing like the what you had expected. That's a disappointment. So being able to try before you buy is great, but I just get really enthused that seeing so many young people that have gravitated toward the physical medium again, because it's just so important. An album was made to be played from start to finish. It's an experience. It's a journey.
I think
it's not just a song.
I think there's a big segment that's realizing you can still do streaming and do physical media too. And I think that's where you see that growing. The streaming's not going anywhere for a certain segment of the population. That's all they want, and honestly, it's probably all they need. But I'm glad to see too that people are returning to physical media.
Kind of like the movie industry. They put a movie out in the theaters for a time before it hits video. And I remember the day that Platoon came out on VHS, and it was $100 to buy Platoon when it came out. What if they changed it around, like the Johnny Thunders album that we were talking about earlier? He only put that out as a physical medium. Maybe they should start putting albums out as a physical medium first and then turning it into streaming a month or so later.
Yeah, there could be a lot of different models that work. All right. Chat, I think we've hit our 2 hours here. This will be the shortest episode of 3 Men on the Record. We always have 2 hours as the goal. We never make it. But figure out why we made it tonight.
2 minutes short.
Yeah.
Well, that's because you have me on here. I can talk for hours. That's why my shows on Whatnot go for 5 hours.
Well,
I can't shut up.
Well, usually we have a 15 to 20-minute segment where Jake sees a squirrel. That squirrel could be Oasis or Floyd or the Beatles or something, and Sean has to rein it back in. So
he is missed today, but
yeah. I wish he was here.
Well, let's talk some more about Pink Floyd. Let's talk about the album More. Oh, there's a great soundtrack. Pink Floyd's More.
Somebody actually put that in the Discord thread.
Pink Floyd, I love that More album. It's great. And so is Obscured by Clouds. That's the soundtrack to a movie called Something Believe or something like that. That's a great soundtrack. Then you got The Body. That's got Roger Waters on there, as well as Jerry Garcia is on there. There's a bunch of that old stuff with bands that put out soundtracks as albums.
Yeah, I mean, the more we talked about it, the more I realized how big and broad it is. So, Eric, for folks that may not know you on Whatnot, when do you usually run shows and what do you do?
Yeah, so really creative. EC Vinyl is my username on Whatnot. I've been buying and selling a lot of Japanese titles. I stick with stuff that I like. I buy a lot of jazz, a lot of 70s classic rock, funk soul. But I am also a metalhead. Not a lot of metal in Japanese, and
Mhm.
I don't necessarily think that metal sounds the greatest on Japanese. Some of them do. But the real musical stuff on Japanese Vital, funk soul, jazz, classic rock sounds phenomenal.
I
But
agree.
anyway, so I usually do my shows on, I'll do a jazz show on Sunday afternoon, and then I'll do shows on Sunday night, Monday night, or Tuesday night. So that's usually when I go.
So you're going 3 times a week.
Yeah, I'll usually do Sunday. Sometimes I'll do one on Friday. I try and do every other day, except if I always do Sunday, whether it's in at noon or whether it's at night, and then I'll do Monday night or Tuesday night, one of those two, and then sometimes on a Friday.
All right. Well, make sure you look for Eric. He's a good seller. He's very conscientious. I see him look at those records very carefully, describes them very well. So, I think people would have a better experience if they get locked into people like Eric that are very transparent.
I think all of the good sellers, just like you guys, you're a music fanatic
Love
and
music.
you're collectors, right?
Mhm.
There are a lot of people that are just selling a commodity. It's a piece of paper or a piece of plastic that somebody wants, and I find value in it, but I don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
And for me, it's a passion project of, hey, look, I want you to experience this album. I want you to open this up and see how beautiful it is. Some of it's almost like a restoration project, when you put it through the ultrasonic machine and you clean it down and it just shines. That's what I want people to experience, not just a really cool packaging and a really nice album, but God, experience some of the great jazz that's out there. Experience some of the great classic rock. That's where all of the today's music, the good today's music, has come from, at least.
Yeah. Well, I would say that our good friend Joe would say blues too, but yeah, he's right.
Mm.
Blues.
Yep.
Yeah,
Blues
that's
just gets forgotten.
Yeah, it does. We're a little light on blues, but we got Joe coming back in May, so we'll get a good dose of probably 3 blues records, and I've put a 1 or 2 on myself. So, all right, let's see here. So for sure, next week, 8 o'clock normal time, Thursday, we'll have Jake and back with us, and we'll have Jim. And then the following week, I did want to announce, kind of build some interest in this. So we're going to do this. There's going to be a regular 3-man on the record episode. Johnny from Channel 910 is going to be the guest, but there will be a show before the show. So we're doing a special episode. It won't be called 3 Men on the Record. It won't be the main podcast, but it's going to be a showdown. So Johnny and Jake are going to be the advocates for grunge. And myself and Josh, Devolutionator, we're going to tell them why post-grunge alternative rock was better than grunge. So we're going to fight it out. 2-man teams, tag team, cage match, no holds barred. Sean is going to...
Am I have to be the ref?
He's going to referee.
Should I get a shirt?
Yeah,
Go?
You're definitely going to have to call some fouls, some technical.
I want to get some flags and
technicals. Yeah. So what we're going to do is, I don't know. It's either going to start. It'll either butt up against 3 Men on the Record, or there'll be like a half an hour break. So we would start at 6:30 Eastern, go to 7:30, take half an hour break, then come back for the regular show. I don't know. I haven't, Sean, it's the first time Sean is hearing this. Jake knows about it. Johnny knows about it, but we're trying to get everybody together because I know Josh is real big, like I am, on the 90s alternative rock. And I know that Jake and Johnny love the grunge. I like grunge, but I just like something else a little bit better. So I don't know if Floyd will want to be there or not. Probably not for that show. But we're gonna have fun. It's all in good fun. So that'll be our first special episode, and we're gonna try to do more of those, more direct topic based. And before somebody asks me, I don't know what the top 5 is going to be next week. So I have to talk to the guys and see what it is. You can come and tell us, Floyd. You're welcome to come to the show.
Yeah, disintegration. Talk about a dreamery. Exactly.
All right. So my next show, I'm not doing a show on Saturday because I'm going to try to do this record store day. And I just figure I'm just going to be wiped and got to do some stuff for people coming to visit to get things ready. So I'm not doing a show on Saturday. I am going to do a show next Wednesday, my normal time, 6 o'clock. I might go a little bit later because Jim is not doing a show on Wednesday night, so I may go to 8:30. It all depends on folks hang in there with me. Sean will be up on Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday.
8 o'clock, usual time, usual place.
Day number 1, week, show number 180 something, probably. I don't know.
All right. Well, we appreciate everybody watching tonight. Get on the Discord, get on the IG. Instagram's doing good. So if you want to rehash the 500 list and you don't want to look at a spreadsheet, you can go on Instagram, and most of them are there with AI generated write-ups. I do read them. They're make sure they're accurate. But that's kind of a cool format to look. Go to 3 Men on the Record on Instagram. You can kind of see all the album covers and all this. We get these little reports that we use to get some of the sales numbers, the years and stuff. So anyway, love you guys.
And if you want to fight for the 5 LP soundtracks on the Discord, you can also do the 3 Men on the Record chat and talk about the soundtracks. You still can influence those 5.
Yeah, we need to get Eric over on the Discord so we can bug him during his workday. With
there you go.
beep, 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 beep. All right, everybody. Good night.
Take care, guys.